Welcome back to part 2 of Toyota's top 10 vehicles not available in the United States. And in this video, we'll be counting down from numbers 5 to number 1. So if you haven't watched the first video, please pause this one and watch the video somewhere around my face. That will get you up to speed for this video. Again, these vehicles, like the last one, they're not really in any particular order except for maybe number 1. Hi, my name is Kirk, and this channel is dedicated to Toyota and Lexus vehicles, so feel free to subscribe and join the luxurious fleet and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Number 5 is the Alphard. Compared to most models on this list, the Alphard is a baby in comparison in terms of how old it is. It only dates back to 2002. And this is our last van on the list and is similar in size to the Toyota Sienna here in the States. The Alphard name is shared with the brightest star in the Hydra constellation. The luxury-oriented van is marketed in Japan, Belarus, Russia, Middle East, China, and Southeast Asia, and Bangladesh, which is a part of Southeast Asia, I guess. We are currently on our 3rd generation that debuted in 2015. It also has a variant called the Velfire, which is oriented more towards a sportier look. I would be happy to be caught driving in that Velfire for sure with my family. Depending on the market, the van can be had with inline 4s, V6s, and of course a hybrid. I first started learning quite a bit about this model when Lexus debuted the LM300H and the LM350. It is the pinnacle of the Alphard and has extreme levels of luxury. I just posted a video recently about the LM's smart glass that can be turned transparent with just a flick of a switch. It's pretty cool. Also, LM has the largest spindle grille of any Lexus, if you were wondering. With the 2021 Toyota Sienna expected to debut this year here in America, I really hope it takes a lot from the Alphard. Number 4 is the Prado. The Land Cruiser Prado is an off-roading machine that shares almost everything with the Lexus GX here in North America. Yes, the Lexus variant is a little bit more luxurious and has, V8s, but the Prado has so much to be admired and a much longer history in comparison to the GX. The first gen Prado, based on the J70 platform, was available from 1990 to 1996. It came with several diesel and gasoline options and had 3 and 5 door models. All future generations of Prados would be available with 3 and 5 door variants. The second gen upgraded to the J90 platform in 96 and ended in 02. The second gen Prado was made in the legendary Tahara plant, which is like the pinnacle of Toyota and Lexus manufacturing. A fun fact is that the 2-door Prado had a variant called the RX, which is similar to the Lexus RX crossover, right, in nomenclature anyways. And there was a 4-door variant called the TJ, which is currently a concept that debuted for Toyota at the 2017 Tokyo Motor Show, called the TJ Cruiser, which definitely watch my videos on the TJ. I'm pretty excited about it if they ever bring it to market. In 2000, Toyota supplied the Prado with the 1KD FTV 3-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo diesel that is still being offered today 20 years later and is known to be one of the most reliable, capable power plants Toyota ever made. The 3rd generation, based on the J120 platform, lasted from 02 to 09 and clearly shared most everything with the 1st generation Lexus GX. While the American-bound GX bore the 4.7 2UZ FE V8 shared with the Lexus LX 470, the Prado offered a myriad of diesels and petrol options ranging from a 2.7-liter inline 4 to 4-liter V6s. The 120 series Prado shared many parts with the FJ Cruiser 4Runner and aforementioned Hilux. The newest 4th gen Prado J150 shared much with the 2nd gen Lexus GX 460. The removable seats from the previous generations now folded flat into the vehicle. The 3-door variant was discontinued in 2013 in Australia, to the disappointment of so many fans. I haven't been able to find any evidence regarding the 3 doors still being manufactured for other parts of the world after the 2013 model year. So guys, if you know anything about that, please put it in the comments below. The Prado is still available in Japan, China, and parts of Europe and Australia, which is of course the land of Land Cruisers. Coming in at number 3. Back to sedans, a Toyota Crown. The Crown has been around since 1955 and is the 2nd oldest nameplate in Toyota's current lineup. second only to the Land Cruiser, of course. North America has not seen the Crown since 1973 when it was replaced by the Corona Mark II. The Lexus GS and Crown have shared many similarities over the years. When the Crown got redesigned in the 15 generation, yes, 15 generations. So when it got redesigned in 2018 on the new TNGA-L platform and the GS hadn't been given the same treatment, even for the 2020 model year, it all but confirms the demise of its brethren, the GS. And it's rumored to be this summer in 2020. The current Crown can be had with the same motor as the rear-wheel drive IS300. That's a 2-liter turbo 8AR FTS motor that is seen in tons of Lexus vehicles as well as a few Toyotas. It also shares a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder hybrid setup seen in, again, tons of Toyota and Lexus models. And the star of the show is the V6 hybrid setup. This is the exact same setup seen in the LS500H and the LC500H, offering 354 horsepower and 0 to 60 times under 5 seconds. I'm hoping Lexus will use this powertrain in the upcoming IS hybrid slated to debut this coming winter, but we'll have to wait on that. And with the Lexus GS being such a huge question mark right now, the Lexus IS could stand to grow a little bit and share as much as possible with this legendary Japanese icon, the Toyota Crown. Coming in at number 2 is a legendary Toyota Century. If the Lexus LS is the flagship sedan for Lexus here in the United States, the Century is the flagship for Toyota and Lexus as well. You could call it that there in Japan. Think of it as the Rolls-Royce of Japanese cars. There have only been 3 generations of Centuries dating back to 1967. V8s were the primary motor of choice for the Centuries, and they still are. The first generation lasted an eon from 1967 to 1997. The second generation only lasted 20 years until 2017. However, this generation sported a powertrain lusted over by motoring fans around the world. A Toyota V12 named the 1JZ-FE had 5 liters of displacement, power output with modest 267 horsepower, but the smoothness and power delivery of the motor makes this one of the finest motors ever made. There is a second generation Century named the Royal, and it is used exclusively for the Emperor of Japan, and there are only 4 models that were ever made. Super high luxury interiors and modified structure for size and security. Each Century Royal cost at least $800,000 US. And in 2018, the Century was redesigned on the Toyota N platform and is more similar to the Lexus LS600HL than, let's say, the current LS500. Gone is the 1JZ V12, and here enters the 5-liter V8, the 2UR GSE hybrid setup seen in the Lexus LS600H. The Century sells for a meager $180,000 as a base price, which is crazy because the highest spec Lexus, let's say 500H, LS500H, is probably going to be around $150,000, just for a comparison. In 2018, sightings of the GRMN Century were mounting. The GRMN is Toyota's highest designation for their top performing models, and the GRMN Century finally debuted at the Gazoo Racing Festival at the end of 2019 at the Tokyo Auto Salon. This model is not available for purchase, but it is pretty cool that Toyota is giving fans some crazy variants of this ultra luxury flagship. The number 1 is the Land Cruiser J70. Oh, this is a sweet one, guys. The J70 makes the list as the number 1 Toyota not offered here in America. We do get a Land Cruiser in America, the J200 series, but it is a massive luxury boat. It still retains some of its off-road capacity, but it has really lost its touch with its original identity as an inexpensive, dependable workhorse. The J70 Land Cruiser is arguably the most sought-after vehicle for Toyota fans that is still in production. Very little has changed with the J70 since 1984, and it's a relic. It carries the motto, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is arguably the most capable and reliable vehicle ever made, not just a Toyota, but for any vehicle. And it's probably not going to win any contest in comfort and fuel economy. There are so many different configurations of the J70 that I really don't know exactly what the standard form is. They all seem to be very purpose-built for their intended markets, and tons of motors are stuffed in them, mostly being inline 6s, both gasoline and diesel. However, the epic 4.5-liter V8 twin-turbo diesel is offered in a few markets, including Australia and South Africa. This motor has never made it into America. and please watch my video on the top 5 Lexus engines that we don't get so you can learn more about this awesome motor. Almost all of the J70s, at least the ones I've seen, have the old reliable 5-speed manual transmission with the gear shifter on the floor. Solid axles are found at the front and rear with manual locking hubs with locking differentials as options. Air conditioning and radio are actually options in most areas. They're not standard. And that couldn't be any further from the more modern J200 Land Cruiser with DVD screens offered in the back and cool boxes for the passengers. With the latest rumors, we're hearing about Toyota going back to its roots for the American market Land Cruiser, shedding its size and luxury and price. We can only hope a modernized J70 type Land Cruiser would be offered here to compete directly against the Jeep Wrangler and the upcoming Ford Broncos of this world. Well, that does it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the top 10 Toyota vehicles that we don't see here in the United States of America. These were in no particular order, but man, the J70 being number 1 is probably the one I would wish to have most on this list. But what is your favorite? And which models would you put in your top 10 that I didn't mention? Because there are tons of them out there that we still don't get. And if you made it this far, guys, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new, subscribe for more Toyota and Lexus content in the future. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace out. Take care of yourselves.